Hello, hi, mabuhay. Good day, everyone. I am Maria Alaisa Odebit, and today's lesson we will tackle about guerrilla warfare and regional resistance movements of Makari Sakai's Tagalog Republic. So here are the learning objectives. By the end of this report, the learner should be able to describe the early life of Macario Sakay. Malalaman nila kung ano yung mga naging karanasan ni Macario Sakay noong bata pa siya hanggang sa maging miyembro siya ng Katipunan. Second one is, explain the formation and goals of the Tagalog Republic. Malalaman nila kung ano yung purpose ng Tagalog Republic, kung bakit yun itinatag, at kung ano yung ipinaglalaban nila. Malalaman rin nila kung paano ang pamamahala ni Macario Sakay at ng iba pang mga pinuno sa Tagalog Republic. The third one is examine the American response to Sakay's movement. Malalaman nila kung bakit tutol at hindi sumasang-ayon ang Amerika sa pagbuo ng Tagalog Republic. The fourth objective is assess the trial and execution of Makari Sakay. Malalaman nila kung ano yung totoong rason kung bakit pinagbintangan, ikinulong, pinarusahan at pinatay sila Macario Sakay. The last learning objective is the learner should be able to appreciate Macario Sakay's contribution to Philippine independence. Malalaman ng mga estudyante ang kanyang taglay na katapangan at pagpapatuloy ng laban para sa kalayaan. Malalaman din nila kung bakit isa siya sa mahalagang bayani sa kasaysayan ng Pilipinas. Dito sa picture na 'to, makikita natin yung iilang miyembro lamang ng Tagalog Republic. Meron pang mga ibang miyembro pero wala sila diyan sa pictures na 'yan. So, itong mga nandito sa pictures na ito ay i-introduce ko lang sila sa inyo ng as in sobrang iksi. So, he is Julian Montalan. Montalan was an early member of Katipunan na pinamumunuan ni Bonifacio. Isa din siyang general na nakipaglaban sa mga mananakop na Espanyol at mga Amerikano. He is Francisco Carrion. Carrion is a Filipino general in the Philippine Revolution against Spain and in the Philippine-American War. Malaki ang kanyang contribution sa pakikipaglaban sa mga mananakop. He is Benedito Natividad. He was a military leader and a governor and a judge also. Lucio de Vega. He is one of the revolutionary colonel na nakasama ni Macario Sakay bilang isa sa mga general sa Tagalog Republic. Siya yung kasama ni Macario Sakay na pinatay. Malalaman niyo mamaya kung bakit at kung ano yung rason at kung kailan sila namatay. The next one is Leon Villaferte. He was a Filipino revolutionary and also isa siya sa mga general ni Sakay. And the last one is our beloved Macario Sakay. Macario Sakay y de Leon, born on Tabora Street in Tondo, Maynila in 1870. Hardly knowing his father, Macario Sakay was given the surname of his mother. Ang birth year ni Macario Sakay ay pinagdedebatihan kasi may mga claims na ipinanganak daw si Sakay noong 1878. Pero yun yung kino-consider na less accurate and likely naka-base daw yun sa mga earlier records. At yung totoong birth year po ni Macario Sakay ay 1870 base sa National Historical Commission of the Philippines or NHCP and the most academic references. Bago siya sumali sa Katipunan na pinamumunuan ni Andres Bonifacio ay his first job was that of an apprentice in a kalesa shop. He also worked as a barber, a tailor, and a stage actor for komedya, zarzuela, and moro-moro. In 1894, Macario Sakay joined the Katipunan at the age of 16 years old with his codename Tagausig, which means prosecutor. He made his commitment to Philippine independence by joining the Katipunan. Sakay was one of the founders of the original Partido Nacionalista, founded on August 21, 1901 on Calle Guano, Quiapo, Maynila. Ito ay unrelated sa present na Partidong Nacionalista na itinatag noong 1907. He held the office of Secretary General. The Partido Nacionalista sought to achieve Philippine independence through legal means. The party appealed to the Philippine Commission, but the Commission passed the Sedition Law, which prohibited any form of propaganda advocating independence. Itong time na 'to is yung revolution against Spain. So, noong August 1896 marked the beginning of the revolution against Spain and natapos siya noong taong 1898. Si Gregoria de Jesus, also known as Kaoryang, which is the second wife of Bonifacio, ay sinasabi niya na malaki ang naging ambag ni Macario Sakay sa Kalayaan newspaper press ng Katipunan. Malapit nang makamit ng Pilipinas yung kinakamtan nilang kalayaan after fighting against Spain. On June 12, 1898, Emilio Aguinaldo declared Philippines independence in Kawit, Cavite. Akala nila na malaya na sila kasi nagtatag na sila ng kanilang own government, gumawa na rin sila ng kanilang sariling flag, nakagawa na rin ang Pilipinas ng sariling national anthem. Pero wala silang as in kahit onting idea na ibinenta na pala ng Spain yung Pilipinas sa mga American. Noong December 1898, sa Treaty Paris worth of $20 million. Akalain niyo yon? Inaasahan na ng mga Pilipino na malaya na sila, na wala nang manggugulo sa kanila. Pero mali sila ng akala. And of course, American start colonizing the Philippines. During the Filipino and American War, si Sakay at ang kanyang mga grupo ay pumunta sa mga mountains at nag-organize sila ng revolutionary forces sa Bulacan, Pampanga, Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, and even in Morong, which is now Rizal. Ginamit nila yung Kalinawan Caves sa Tanay Rizal as one of their hideouts and bases. During the initial stages of Filipino-American War, Sakay was jailed for his seditious activities. He had been caught forming several Katipunan chapters and preaching its ideals from town to town. Later on, he was released when the United States granted a general amnesty to Filipinos who would surrender and pledge allegiance to the American government. That release gave Sakay temporary freedom, but instead na magpakumbaba siya, na magpakabait na siya ay he reorganized resistance and later proclaimed the Republika ng Katagalugan or the Tagalog Republic. Republika ng Katagalugan or the Tagalog Republic from the year 1902 to 1906 from his stronghold in the mountain of Laguna provinces. He led an effective guerrilla campaign against the Americans. The main area of operations of Sakay's resistance movements was in the southern Tagalog provinces of Rizal, Batangas, Laguna, and Cavite. In the end of the year 1903, the Tagalog Republic was complete fully operational government with soldiers. By 1904, the Tagalog Republic government was organized as follows. And yes, of course, si Macario Sakay held the presidency and was also called Generalissimo. Si Francisco Carrion was the vice president and handled Sakay correspondence. Julian Montalan was the overall supervisor for military operations. Wala po dito si Cornelio Felizardo. So, Felizardo took charge in the northern part of Cavite, specifically in Pasay to Bacoor, while Lucio de Vega, ito po si Lucio de Vega, controlled the rest of the province. Si Anicito Oruga, wala rin po siya dito sa pictures na to. He operated in the lake towns of Batangas. Si Leon Villafuerte, ito po siya. He led Bulacan while Benito Natividad patrolled Tanwan, Batangas. The establishment of Tagalog Republic in Laguna province did not sit well with its newly U.S. appointed Governor General Juan Cailes. So basically, Juan Cailes is ayaw niya sa Tagalog Republic. So, nag-form si Cailes ng armed party at nakipag-collaborate siya with the constabulary officer para paalisin si Sakay sa teritoryo niya. Kasi yun nga, ayaw niya ng gulo. Okay? So, ayaw niya yun, X. Aside from local law enforcement, the responsibility of peace and order of the provinces also rested upon the governor. By August, he continued engagement with General Cailes, forced Sakay to transfer his headquarters out of the Laguna region. So, And yung Tagalog Republic naman ay masunurin sila. Umalis sila sa Laguna Region. Sakay and his generals sailed to Rizal Province and reestablished their headquarters in the mountain between Bosa-Bosa and Tanay, which they named Dima Salang. Sakay had powerful revolutionary activities that led to their diverse resistance, particularly in Batangas, Cavite, Laguna, and even in Moron. In 1904, Macarius Sakay issued a manifesto. Sinasabi niya na ang mga Pilipino ay may karapatan na lumaban para sa kalayaan ng Pilipinas. And sinabi din ni Macarius Sakay sa sarili niya at sa kanyang mga kasamahan na hindi nila gugupitin yung buhok nila hangga't hindi nakakamit ang kalayaan laban sa mga mananakop. Sakay kept his hair long and this became a symbol of resistance. So, yung mga Amerikano ay binansagan silang Macarius Sakay na bandido kasi base sa physical appearance nila like maiitim sila, mahaba yung buhok, ganon.